Wow, I can literally tell that I have not filmed a YouTube video in forever. I'm a mess. Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name's Danielle. I upload new YouTube videos once every year. No, but on a serious note, my name's Danielle. It has been a long time since I've uploaded a YouTube video unintentionally. Sometimes life just gets away from us. So with that being said, I do hope to be uploading more. I would recommend checking out my website, daniellemiller.com. That's where you can see all of my latest posts for YouTube as well as Instagram all in one place. And also make sure that you're following me on Instagram. I'll link all of that down below. Also, this is my first time filming in natural daylight, so here's to hoping that the lighting isn't crap. So, now that we're all here, you're probably asking yourself, what made you decide to upload a video after all this time? Well, I have recently posted a tutorial on my Instagram doing my self-tanning routine. It was very well received, so I wanted to do a more in-depth video kind of explaining why I'm doing each step and just have the opportunity to talk through everything rather than just a tutorial with music over it. The video I did on my Instagram was using the shade Mink by the company Mink Tan. You may or may not know this, but I previously did spray tans for the past 4 years on the side. So I would like to think that I know a little more than the average person when it comes to product knowledge, preparation, things of that nature. So I feel like that's what makes me qualified to do this video. But also, not only that, I've been tanning for a really long time. First things first, I wanted to talk undertones. If you are not someone who tans or self-tans frequently, then you're probably a little confused when you go on a website and you see there are so many different shades, and one is in blue ash, one is in gray ash, one is in olive, one is in violet. What does that mean? So basically what that means is the undertone of the tan is going to be more of a violet brown or more of a golden brown or more of a ashy gray brown. It's basically the undertone of the tan. I personally prefer to go towards more violet types of tans for 2 reasons. They aren't going to pull as orange if you're someone who is fair-skinned and is prone to getting orange. The other reason being, I feel like when I naturally tan, my skin gets very golden, so for the sake of doing something fun, I kind of do a tan that my body can't naturally achieve. So like I said earlier, the color that I used in my Instagram was in the shade Mink. This has a very neutral undertone, I would say. I would say that this is very similar to my skin tone. It kind of would be like if I was at the pool for like a day or 2 in a row. Very neutral, just a few shades darker, natural type of tan. Really, really great. I can recommend this to you 100% without any doubts. Like, this is by far the best self-tanning solution I have used and the favorite color I have ever used so far. However, today I wanted to try something different, so I also have the shade Dark Ash. I wanted to do something a little darker, and I'm interested to try out the undertone, the ashier undertones, to see what that looks like in comparison. So I'm going to be leaving this one on for 3 hours. You can see that each of these bottles has like a guide on it if you leave it on for 1 hour, 2 hour, or 3 hours. Here's this one for comparison. You can see this one's a little warmer than the ashier one. So yeah, I think that's about it. Might as well jump right into it. Something I did want to mention really quickly is before applying any self-tan, you should always shower, shave, and exfoliate. This is just to get any dead skin off the body. So I already shaved my legs, took a shower. You should always be using like exfoliating mitt or gloves and a neutral soap, one that doesn't already include like a moisturizer in it, because that can create a barrier between your skin and the product we're putting on. So scrub all the dead skin off with that soap, and then after the shower, no lotion, because again, that will create a barrier between the product, causing it to not last as long and fade a lot faster. So no lotion. We'll get to the lotion after, okay? Okay, now we're ready to begin. So, prior to putting on any product, I always moisturize. You're going to want to do hands, elbows, knees, and feet. So the reason for this is those areas tend to be drier. We want to put some sort of barrier cream on them, help moisturize them. That way when they come in contact with the moisture that has pigment to it, they don't latch onto that and make those darker. So I'm going to be using this one that I have from when I previously did spray tans. You don't have to go out and buy this one specifically. You'll just want to use something that is like fragrance free, and make sure it doesn't have any alcohol in it. A lot of times lotions and different products will have alcohol in them to help you from feeling sticky throughout the day, but at the same time kind of defeats the purpose of what we're doing. So just taking a little bit of lotion, putting that on palms of the hands, backs of the hands, to the wrists. Definitely focusing on my knuckles because they are super dry from all the hand sanitizer lately. Put some on your elbows as well. And then I'm gonna do my legs off of camera. So knees and feet, especially your heel, because when you're putting self tan on in that area, it can get really patchy. With that being said, if you are someone who has dry skin naturally, please, please, please do not think that you need to put this all over your entire body to prevent the tan from clinging in an unnatural way. Okay, so now that we are all moisturized, it's time to begin. So I'm going to be applying my tan with this mitt from Mink Tan. Basically this has like a velvety texture. It's just going to buff in the tan really well. With the foam-based products, I do not recommend using your hands at all. Just apply your tan really streaky, and that defeats the whole purpose of doing this. So always make sure you shake it up. It's pretty liquidy, and then once you shake it up, it gets more of that foam consistency. Sorry if you already know all these things. I'm just speaking as if like you've never self-tanned before and you would like to learn. And then I like to start in small little dollops. So that's like all the more I use to start, and I'm going to basically just work in sections like from wrist to elbow, elbow to shoulder. And yeah, I think it's better if you watch it rather than me try to explain and mess it up while I'm doing this. I will say I'm already loving this color. Like, this is the difference. Can we see? I can see a difference in the undertone for sure, like my natural skin, and then this one has a different tone. And then another small dollop, like I'm so weak I can't push that, okay. Small dollop, and then we'll do the upper arm. Don't worry about your hands, just buff around your wrists pretty well, and on the top of your wrist, we'll get that area later. Apparently last time I did my self-tanning video for Instagram, my hair being down stressed some people out, so don't worry, I got you this time. I'm legit sweating so much right now. It's like 115 outside, and I had to turn my fan off so I could film this video. So that's always great, huh? So remember how I said we would deal with hands later? I like to apply the self-tan to my hands with a brush that is dense, so it's the same type of brush that you would use to buff in your foundation. You're going to use that to buff in your self-tan on your hands and on your fingers. If I was in like a super big hurry, I'd probably skip the brush. I think that this does a really good job of like buffing on your wrists. But if we're putting our best foot forward here, then the buffing brush is the way to go. Also, I'm clearly right-handed because I'm super awkward at doing my right hand. All right, hands are done. So that leaves the last part. This is totally optional, but you may notice that you sometimes will feel sticky in this area, armpits will feel sticky, or like this area will feel kind of tacky. So what I like to do is I like to take a setting powder or baby powder, and just on a large fluffy brush, I'll put that in the crease just so it's not tacky when I bend my arm back and forth. It makes it a lot more comfortable. But yeah, that pretty much sums up the first part of this. Oh, 1 second. So one other thing I forgot to mention when it comes to doing your hands, you always want to wipe off the palms of your hands, because if you have any self tanner on them, that's a huge giveaway that you have fake tan on. Because if you think about it, when you tan naturally, your hands don't tan. So this is just a wet cloth, and I'm just lightly wiping the wrist area as well as the rest of my palm. I'm going to let this sit for at least 3 hours. Something I did want to mention is leaving your tan on longer does not always equal better. Sometimes it gives the solution an opportunity to overdevelop, which is when the tan can start to turn orange. So if you have a tan that's meant for 3 hours, you shouldn't be leaving it on for 24 hours. I mean, you can, right? Like, if it looks good to you and that's what you want to do, then more power to you. But from a spray tan technician point of view, I would never tell someone to leave it on for 24 hours. If you're someone who has trouble tanning and you want it to be the shade of 3 hours, I would tell you to leave it on no more than 6 hours. So it has been about 3 hours now. I'm going to be taking a shower in a few minutes to rinse the color off. Let me just say though, this color is so pretty. Like, I am so in love. I swear, every time I use a new product by Mink Tan, like, I'm always like, oh wow, this one's my favorite. And then I try another shade and I'm like, oh wow, this one's my favorite. Like I really feel at this point it's just getting like too cheesy. Like, I just have so much love for these. But yeah, the shade is just developing like perfectly. I really feel like what sets Mink Tan apart is their shades are very skin true shades. So it doesn't look artificial. It really is like your skin, but better. I also forgot to mention this when I was putting it on before, because I just had so much to say about the application process, but their products are 100% cruelty free and vegan as well, which is amazing. Like, always such a good quality to have in your products. Also, the DHA in Mink Tan products is 100% natural, which is also super great. Like, just great quality ingredients in these products. I really admire that the line is not just light, medium, and dark. They have such a variety of different colors, different undertones that you can experiment with. You can do more hydrating products, you can do the express tan, you can do regular. It's just, they're my favorite. Okay, so before we part ways and I see you in 24 hours or, you know, 5 seconds for you when it flashes to the next slide, some things you should know about rinsing your tan off after doing a self tan application. So it is best to use cool water, as cold as you can stand it. I typically would recommend to someone, when I was doing spray tans, they should not do like shampoo or soap during that shower. It's really just jumping in, cool water, rinsing the bronzer off. So once you see that the water doesn't have any more bronze coming off in it, that's when you're good to go. Jump out, pat dry with the towel. You don't want to rub because again that can cause some exfoliation to happen, which makes your tan not last as long. Immediately after you shower, moisturize, moisturize, moisturize. Something I used to tell clients who are getting express tans every single time was, you're gonna feel really dark, it's gonna feel good, you're gonna shower and get back out of the shower and think, oh my god, all my tan just washed away. So if that happens to you, do not worry. Your tan is actually going to continue to develop over the next 24 hours. So that's why I'm going to be popping back on in 24 hours so you can see the finished result. So yeah, don't freak out. Don't put more tan on. Just let it go through its natural course. I promise you're going to love it. But yeah, I feel like that's it for right now. I'm going to wait about 30 minutes, go rinse this off, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, so it has been 24 hours since I last saw you. Let my tan develop overnight. As I mentioned yesterday, I took a shower, rinsed with cool water, no soap, no scrubbing, patted dry with a towel, moisturized right after, and this is the results. I'm so in love with this color, like definitely my new favorite shade that I've tried from Mind Tan. I feel like Mind Tan really has a good range to make your shades customizable. So if you liked this undertone but didn't want to go so dark, you could leave it on for 1 to 2 hours, where I left it on for about 3.5. Or if you were wanting a different undertone altogether, they have those options for you as well. Like there are so many different types of like tan results that you can get with their products. I just feel like this is like a picture perfect airbrushed finish. I've also used a lot of products in the past that I feel like just dry my skin out so much. I know that they use like 100% clean, antioxidant rich botanicals in their products, and you definitely can tell a difference. I always feel like my skin is so luminous and glowy after I do a self tan. Oh, forgot to mention this yesterday. So you probably noticed I didn't self tan my face. Obviously I had makeup on, but I typically shy away from doing that, and that's because I use their face tan mist, which is amazing. It is so perfect for those days where I feel like my foundation's looking a little too dark, or I'm just kind of feeling like washed out and super pasty looking. I'll just use some of this, seriously just like 1, 2, 3, 4, just a quick spritz on my face. Next morning, wake up, it just kind of gives you that flush of color, makes it look like you've been sun-kissed. It's so perfect, and this smells so good. You also can use this on the rest of your body, like if you feel your legs need a little extra color, or arms. I just prefer to use the mitt to blend the color in. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up everything that has to do with my self-tanning routine. You do want to make sure that each day after you shower, you continue to moisturize really well with a very basic moisturizer that doesn't include any fragrance or alcohol. That'll prolong your tan the longest. Also will keep it from getting that like speckly look on your collarbone, armpits, other areas. Let me know if you have any questions, or if you get to try any of these products out. I want to see all the different shades that you guys are trying. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Never mind. Feel 100% sure, guaranteeing. Not sure what I'm saying. So perfect. So yeah, how many more great things can I say about this? Let's try. Ready, go. Stop. And moisturizing. Did I mention they're moisturizing? Moisturizing. Moisture.